All right, hi. Uh, just to get this out of the way, I'm Jason. I'm a top contributor for Chromebook Central. I am not a Google employee. Uh, just getting that straight out there. We'll be covering this in the first question I have also, just because for some reason some people get the idea that I'm a Google employee. I am not a Google employee. So I do have a lot of questions since I missed last week because I was in Chicago. Um, So I was getting a lot of good information from Google and got to meet my community manager, Andrea. That was fun. And got to meet some rising stars and TCs also. That was fun. So let me go ahead and get started. Like I said, this first question, if I can find my place again. All right, it's from an anonymous user. Why doesn't Google sell Chrome OS the same way Windows is sold? Off the shelf, I would definitely buy it for around $40 and dual boot it with OpenSUSE on my old laptop. Seeing as you're a Google employee, why don't you pass this idea around? That's probably already been tossed around by other Google employees. All right, like I said, first off, I am not a Google employee. I'm a top contributor on the Chromebook Central Help Forum. I don't even think I'd be able to work for Google. I'm not smart enough. So I've gone through this at great length to let that be known that I am not a Google employee. And I think the reason Google doesn't sell Chrome OS off the shelf is that Chrome OS isn't simply just software. It works in conjunction with the hardware. Like one of the main safety features is the verified boot, which is actually baked into the hardware, not a software type thing. So you can't just automatically have verified boot if you load up that. And if you really want to dual boot a version of Chromium OS, it's open source, it's free on the internet, you can get it and you can put it on any old laptop you'd like. You wouldn't have the security of the verified boot, but you'd have Chromium OS and you'd be able to be able to dual boot with that. I have is another anonymous question. And I'm just going to paraphrase this question because it was really long and a lot of information that wasn't really part of the question, I think. The question is from a college student. They wanted to remain anonymous, but they identified themselves as a college student that was looking at Chromebooks because they didn't want to carry around a heavy, battery-eating monster of a laptop. Every time they look, Chromebooks seem to be getting newer and better and whatnot. And he was just wondering which one I would recommend, and if he should just straight pull the trigger or wait for something that's coming out. So first off, if I'm going to say check Craigslist, check eBay, if you can find a Pixel within your price range, buy the Pixel. I think Google did a very good job in pretty much future-proofing the Pixel for a little while. Mine's still running great. Now, if you don't want to go for a Pixel or the Pixel's just a little bit out of your price range, that's understandable. I'd go with Right now, probably the HP 14 is my favorite non-Pixel Chromebook. Uh, I don't really look that much into the next devices until they come out. Um, I much rather prefer to get my hands on a Chromebook before I form an opinion. Um, I try to avoid reviews until I get a chance to look at them. Um, so that's kind of how I work. Um, the Acer C720p, the touchscreen C720 from Acer is another good Chromebook that I personally have gotten a chance to check out and feel around. Besides that, um, I'm not really sure. So like I said, I haven't been able to get my hands on many Chromebooks, so I do my best to try to get my hands on at least some of them. And right now, like I said, if you can buy a Pixel, uh, but if you can't, I'd go with the C7, uh, the Acer C720p, or the HP 14. Those are just my personal choices. All right, next one, we got a question from Dean. Well, actually, what I did here was it's kind of I got a question from an anonymous user and from Dean, so I'm going to lump these together. Yeah, Dean, I know I need to get that banner back up, but for some reason the banner that said I was not a Google employee that I used to have up here uh, interfered with the question part, so I couldn't, or sorry, the question part, where so I couldn't get questions from the live audience. So yeah, I'd like to have that banner back up, but I'll just settle for having to use the disclaimer that I am not a Google employee. Um, Even with that banner, I still think I got a few people that mistook me for a Google employee for some reason. So, all right. So, this combined anonymous Dean question: what do you think about Samsung and Toshiba scaling back their Chromebook European releases? I think it's bad news for the Chromebook world, right? Would you, or what do you think of the new Chromebooks and what Samsung? Okay, first, what do I think about Samsung and Toshiba scaling back their Chromebook European market releases? Um, from what I understand, from what I read about this in the news articles, was they weren't doing so well in the laptop market in general in Europe, so they decided to scale back or just pull straight out. Um, that doesn't mean they're not selling their phones. They're selling TVs, whatever. It's just them pulling out their laptops um, out of the market in Europe. Uh, as far as I know, that includes their Windows machines. So they just might not be selling laptops very well in Europe. I'm not sure. I'm not from Europe. I'm in the US, and I'm in the middle of the US for that. So I'm a far ways away from Europe. And if I had insight really of the companies, that I'd probably be richer. But what I think about that is, well, if they're not making money, it's understandable to be kind of pulling out. Um, and do I think it's bad news for the Chromebook world? Honestly, I don't. No. Uh, For the Chromebooks, for the Chromebook market, I don't think Samsung and Toshiba pulling out of the European market is really a bad thing. Because when Chromebooks were first released, when they were only available in the US, I know a couple people that are on Chromebook Central. I've read that people were having ordering on Amazon, sending them to friends and families here in the States, and then having them ship it over to them overseas to them. So really, I don't think it's going to hurt anything. If anything, it's going to we're going to see more business uh, in the shipping industry from Chromebooks getting mailed over to Europe. If it's a big deal, and if consumers really, 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 really want Chromebooks back in the European market, you have to let the companies know. Go, hey, Samsung, hey, Toshiba, I want the Chromebooks. Bring back the Chromebooks. Email their or contact the companies and oh man, sorry. Email the companies, call the companies, whatever. Go, hey, you pulled Chromebooks and your laptops from the market, and I was saving money to buy one of those. Let them know that you want a Chromebook. Let them know you want to buy one of their laptops, one of their products. They'll be like, oh, and if enough people, oh, we made a mistake. They want these products. Why do we pull them? So that's why I don't think it's a bad thing. Um, now let's see. Now, what do I think of the new Chromebooks and what Samsung and Toshiba scaling back their releases mean for the market as a whole? Okay, I think that kind of goes with the same. I don't really think it. I don't pay attention to new Chromebooks until I can get my hands on them, like I said earlier. And the whole scaling back in the market I just covered. What updates would I like to see in future Chrome OS releases? For the updates, I don't know. I'd like to be surprised every once in a while. Kind of looking forward to that easy unlock feature. I know some people would like to see support for DVDs for use of external drives to watch movies on Chromebooks. Honestly, I don't think that's a needed feature. It'd be a nice feature to have them bake in with getting the codexes, but not necessarily needed. And well, to be honest, I'm really a simple creature. As long as it works, I'm good. I like the advancements in native client allowing the Android ports. I hope those continue. I'd like to. I would personally, just to have have it on my Pixel, just to see how beautiful it looks. I would love to have Timely. I'd love to have Google, since they own it now, port Timely over so it can work and I can see Timely, because it's a beautiful clock app. I would love to see that on my Chromebook Pixel. But yeah, for updates, I'm I'm not that future. I don't try to go, okay, look in the future and see what I like. Excuse me. I would like to see. I'm kind of a now guy, so as long as it works, I'm good. All right, here's a question from an anonymous user. What laptops do you, or what laptops did you have before Chromebooks came out? What what brought you into the glistening world of Chrome OS? Why do you have such a big interest in it? All right. Um, I had one laptop in 2003. Uh, I bought it on eBay while I was waiting to get deployed out of Fort McCoy, Wisconsin. I don't recall exactly. I think I want to say it was an HP. I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't remember. But after it died, I didn't really feel the need to have a laptop. Really, I mainly used desktop computers that like e-machines. I know they were horrible, but hey, it was in my price range. And the only thing I really used the computer for was to use Photoshop and web browsing, really, at the time. What got me into Chrome OS was the CR48 pilot program. Um, I happened to see a Google blog about Google's new computer, and they were doing a beta test. And I figured I'd sign up and figured it'd be awesome if I got it, and if not, no loss. Um, and I never heard anything back. I never got an email confirming that I signed up, or an email saying, "Hey, you're going to get it," or whatever. Um, I believe December 7th, 2010, I went to something to eat. I remember this because I was hungry. I didn't eat all day. I was getting ready to go grab something to eat, and I trip over a box. I was like, "Ah, crap! Someone left something on the porch." And when I looked down, I picked it up and saw the Google address on it. I'm like, "Cool. I'm not going to eat." I took that back inside, opened it up, and there was the CR48 box with the little hamster rocket test wheel thing. And and sorry, went right back inside. Uh, Started spent the rest of the night just playing with it. Um, why I have such a big interest in Chrome OS, Chromebooks, is, well, firstly, it's a Google product. I've always I've always enjoyed using Google products a lot. I also like that it's pushing web technology uh, to be better. Um, and if you're just in general asking why I have a big interest in helping answer questions, I find helping others understand Chrome OS and Chromebooks in the whole in a whole grow the community, and also grow the Chromebook Chrome OS ecosystem. Um, it gets knowledge out there about it. Uh, and if I come across a question that I don't know, I go and I get to learn about the stuff that I don't know. So that's why I have such a big um, interest in Chromebooks. Uh, Moving right along, like I said, we have a lot of questions since I missed last week. I think before this morning, because I think I got 2 more questions this morning, we were at about 11 questions. So moving right along, we got another anonymous question. Excuse me. Excuse me, sorry. You're a real Chrome OS lover, right? Do you dream about pixels in your sleep and stuff? How how does Chrome OS stop viruses? Can you explain that to me? All I see is it has built-in virus protection. I believe it's just the Linux kernel, right? Yes, I'm a fan of Chromebooks and Chrome OS. I don't really sleep all that well, so I don't to dream. And if I do dream, I don't even recall them. So there's that. For the virus protection in Chrome OS is really baked into the hardware and part of the software. There's the sandbox tabs, which is also in Chrome. That's not exclusive to Chrome OS. They have they're sandbox, so they're individually processed, and nothing can really get out. So if you're visiting a site that has malware that's trying to get onto your system, it really can't escape that Chrome tab. Google's done a very good job, and they have a sandbox version of Flash also for Chrome OS. I believe they even use it for Chrome now, where exploits from Flash cannot get out and hurt your system also. Those are software things. The hardware thing for a Chromebook, virus protection wise, is the verified boot. And very, 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 very simply, it is the verified boot system will, during startup on your Chromebook, will check to see if there's any bad little thing, malware, virus, whatever, in your system, or anything that would mess up the system from booting up. And if it finds something that will mess it up, it'll automatically go back to a version that was safe. Say you downloaded something and it's trying to corrupt the system. Well, Chrome OS with the verified boot will automatically delete that and go back to the previous version before you download that. Again, that's a very simple explanation. It's above my head even as a Chromebook TC. What I like to say is I'm a very simple user. I am the average user of a Chromebook. Now, granted, I might be probably a power user instead of an average user, but I'm the average consumer. And I try to keep it simple with how everything works. Now, with the Linux kernel, that might add a little level of extra security on there, but it's really the verified boot, the sandbox tabs, and sandbox flash built into the Chromebook set, or Chromebox, or Chrome bases that would provide that extra protection. Okay, next question. All right, another anonymous question. Most of these are anonymous except for Dean's questions, which is fine. Anonymous, can I get Steam to work on Chrome OS? If not, do you think Steam will ever come to Chrome OS? Well, first off, without switching your Chromebook box or base to developer mode and installing a form of Linux or anything, you cannot install Steam on Chrome OS. However, you can install like Crouton, or go into developer mode and install a Crouton. Developer mode and install Linux or whatever. I personally will not get into that. So, but do I think Steam will come to Chrome OS? It depends. I don't think Valve will really bring Steam to Chrome OS. I think the only one that might be able to there's only a few Chromebooks that might be able to handle Steam right now to stream games to play. But if Steam saw that or felt that the consumer demand for it was there, they could port it over with native client. But it would be streaming. You wouldn't really download the games. It'd be a streaming service probably. Because I don't think using a Chromebook as a gaming laptop would really work at this moment. But yeah, if you feel that you have enough people, go to Valve. Let them know you want to see Steam ported over to Chrome OS or just the web in general. They could do Chrome OS with native client. That's how they're doing the Android apps, I believe. So you'd be able to do it that way. All right, Dean, does it notify you that it deleted those files and it has reverted to a safe point? Personally, I don't have experience with the verified boot saving me. It may have, and it may not tell you. But I'm taking a guess. Like if you download something that's going to hurt you and it deletes it, I don't know if it'll let you know. And I don't know if it'll let you know it reverted back to a safe point. Because I haven't come across it, and right, as far as I know, I've not seen anything where the only thing I've seen virus wise is like what TCs and Rising Stars refer to as browser hijacking, where you installed a extension and now when you go to search something in the omnibar URL bar address bar thing, it will take you to like Bing instead of Google, or it'll take you to some spam site instead of Google. And that's just a extension resetting your search parameters. That's not a virus, that's just malware. That's not covered in verified boot. As far as I know, there hasn't been viruses developed for Chrome OS yet. So verified boot is really just a safeguard against viruses. If you get a virus, it'll stomp it out. If it happens to get on the Chromebook for somehow, I don't believe it would notify you that it deleted it and just returned you safe and let you know that it's returned to a safe point. But I can reach out to Google and find out exactly how that works, and maybe do a video on it by itself on how verified boot works. And that's even if Google hasn't already had a video out on how verified boot works. Now, it wouldn't be as technically sound as a Google video. I would try to simplify it so I personally could understand it. So yeah, like I said, I'm not sure exactly what it would do, but I might do a video, do some research and do a video just on verified boot and how it works and what it might tell us. All right, next question from another anonymous user. So the Pixel is basically the nexus of Chromebooks. Do you think when do you think the next Chromebook will come out? Will there ever be another? I hope so. Uh, well, to be honest, I don't think Google has any aspirations to release another version or a new version of a Chromebook. I kind of believe it was a one-shot deal just to show uh, Chromebook manufacturers and the development community what was possible with the hardware available at the time. I don't even know where they would go with a Chromebook 2, Pixel 2. I mean, more pixels. I don't know. The only thing I could think of is maybe 2 camera, or I don't know. See, I don't know. Maybe, well, what would you like to see in a Chromebook Pixel 2? Let's see. Here. I'm not, this is out there. 3 cameras, 1 rear facing, 2 front facing. Changing keyboard, where it's a normal Chromebook keyboard, and then when you hit shift, all the letters capitalize. I know it's out there. Like I said, control, like for screenshots, control. You hold control, the buttons change to what the shortcuts do. A little display in the trackpad, maybe, I don't know, for notifications or whatnot. The speakers are fine. The speakers are great on this Pixel using the key, using that, but with USB 3, of course. What else? I'm not sure what else. That's my general ideas. That's what I would throw in the Chromebook Pixel 2. Will it get made? Probably not. Like I said, Google is probably doing a one-shot. Here's what you can do with this technology. Try to beat this is pretty much what they were doing. I think it was like, here, we'll show you what to do. Yeah. I don't think we'll see one anytime soon. All right, next anonymous question. You say on your Google Plus profile that you were in the Army, U.S. Army. Would you talk about your experience there? I'm thinking of joining them. Do you think the U.S. Army should move over to Chrome OS? Okay, I will just touch on this briefly for the personal part. In 2000, when I was 17, I joined the Army. I joined the U.S. Army Reserves. My mom signed the waiver. I went to basic between my junior and senior year of high school. Came back, did my senior year, graduated, went to advanced individual training. In 2003, I got deployed to Iraq. Came home 2004, and beyond that, it was just standard stuff. If you'd like, mention me on Google Plus, and I'll let you know any questions you got about that personally. I'd rather keep the Q&A hangouts strictly on the Chrome OS. So back to, do I think the US Army should move to Chrome OS? They would have issues right now. They use a smart card with a high encryption, with a chip in it that they use to access most of their software and data on the cloud. As far as I know, still the Chrome, excuse me, sorry, Chrome OS has an issue with the card readers. As far as I know, the issue has not been resolved yet. But that would be the main hurdle the Army would have to. They'd have to work with Google to figure out how to get past the card issue, the security issue. Do I think it'd be a good fit for the Army? Yes. The fast boot ups, the long battery times, that would absolutely benefit the Army. And they have mobile internet capabilities, so they wouldn't have to rely on cell signals. They could use their satellite internet for Chromebooks. That's what we did in Iraq. Now, do I think the Army will switch over? Not so much. They would have to convert a lot to go to Chrome OS, and I don't think they'd do that. Next. Okay, can you explain how the Chromecast works? All right. Okay. All right. Well, for a Chromecast, as far as I understand it, the Chromecast acts as a server, I believe. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to think of this. I think this through. Okay. What happens is either your Chromebook or your phone sends a request through the internet to the Chromecast going, I would like to watch this. And the Chromecast will pull that video synced to the same time you started the request to the Chromecast and put it up on your TV. Right. To the best of my knowledge, the Chromecast receives a request from your device and pulls the requested media or screen share from the internet or your data connection. That's pretty much how I understand it. There's a lot of technical programming that I do not understand. I tried to research this, and a lot of that, it's a lot of just technical. It does, but essentially your phone or whatever device you're trying to request to be shared from your Chromecast pretty much goes through the internet or okay. I don't know the personal detailings of it, but like I said, your requested device or your media and whatnot go to the internet, to the Chromecast. Chromecast pulls it from the internet also. Screen shares, I think it's the same as doing a screen share from your computer. You broadcast that to the internet, it goes to the Chromecast up on your TV. But yeah, and I believe that's the simplest and my answer, because I don't, the rest of it just is up here above my head. I'll let you guess who this next question's from. Anonymous. All right. Given that a Chromebook represents a sale and therefore includes a codex fee or codec fee, is it only Google's desire to switch us all to the cloud, making my hundreds of DVDs and box sets useless as I go 100% Chrome OS? All right. Well, first of all, I don't believe Chrome OS or Chromebook sales include a codec fee. They don't have the codecs in there to display the information from DVDs, Blu-rays, what have you. Would it be nice to be able to plug in my external DVD drive and watch a movie on my Pixel? Sure. Would I do that? Probably not. Why? Because I have I have a lot. I have a lot of my movies either from Ultraviolet or Flickster already, and I have a couple on Google Play Movies. I don't think it's Google's intent to make DVDs and box sets useless. I think they're looking at the cost effectiveness and how to keep the cost of the Chromebooks down, including, I understand that some people would be like, well, optical drives aren't that expensive. No, but keeping the form factor and keeping it cool and keeping it quiet, keeping it wouldn't be cost effective to cram a optical drive in a Chromebook, I don't think, or very practical either. And they're trying to keep the operating system, I think, as light and quick as possible. Adding the drivers and the codecs that's a little more to process when you're booting up, so it'll take a little bit longer. I don't think that needs to happen. I'm sure as technology progresses and we may see that get added to it, but honestly, I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for it. I can listen to music from a DVD or a CD. I just can't watch a movie on my Chromebook through my external drives, optical drives. I personally probably wouldn't either. When I'm traveling, I have no desire to open up my Chromebook and watch a movie, to be honest. And if I did, I'd just have a external drive. All right, from Dean, just ask live. I know those Scroogled videos were misleading and stupid, but that guy from Pawn Stars said the hardware makes it easier for the NSA to spy on you. I don't know a huge amount about hardware or laptops in general, but I call bullshit. Yes. Okay. Last year, when I got invited to California for the TC Summit in California for Google, that was dismissed. The NSA getting into Google and getting into their stuff. No. Their stuff is so encrypted that it's ridiculous. On the Chromebook is locally encrypted. The NSA couldn't get into it. So Yeah, no. That is the Windows propaganda machine against Chromebooks. Yeah, it's they need to get their heads out of their hands. Is what they need to do. Um, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Um, all right, and we have a question from Dean here, also from the forum. What are my thoughts on the Adobe Photoshop Cloud Service or Creative Cloud Service? I believe computing is fully heading to the clouds and could be another huge step in that direction. This could be another huge step in that direction. Big step for Chrome OS 2 if it goes fully public. Well, I know you provided the link and I wasn't going to read the link out, so I had to kind of edit your question to get it in there. Personally, I don't, especially if they keep it a subscription-based service, I wouldn't use it. I have Photoshop on my Windows machine. I bought and paid for that. If I need to use Photoshop, I'll log into that. I'll remote into that computer from my Chromebook. That's the first thing I'm against is it's a subscription service. That's dead to me right there. Secondly, it's a streaming service, so you're remoting into their servers. If their servers go down, you can't access it. If their servers are compromised, you might have lost your stuff. Granted, that's a risk of any cloud-based service, but that's not something I would use, especially since I've already paid for a physical version of the software. And I'm not sure how well it'll perform when it's released, how laggy it or buggy it might be. I'm not saying it is. I don't know. I haven't used it. But it's going to really be based on your connection. It might be a decent connection and it might be a decent program, but like I said, I personally will not subscribe to it because I already have a version of Photoshop that I use. Now, I personally would have been a little more impressed if they would have, say, taken Photoshop 7, ported it to native client, and released that. Then you wouldn't be tied to having to remote into their servers to use Photoshop. Photoshop 7, really basic. I personally would not use any other. I'm fine with Photoshop 7. Granted, some people are really into their photo editing and graphic design that they need something stronger, like the new ones, CS, the Creative Suites, whatever number they're up to. But I have Photoshop 7. That's what I could afford. That's what I like to use. I'm used to it. I like it. It's fine for what I need it for. When I don't feel like booting up my Windows computer and loading up Photoshop, I use Pixlr. It's free. Granted, it doesn't do everything that Photoshop can do, but in a pinch, I can do what I need to do without having to go and boot up my Windows machine. And depending how depending how these subscription fees go, it might be a good deal. But like I said, I already have Photoshop 7. If I need to use Photoshop, I'll squeeze in there and I'll remote into that laptop. I'll just jump on or remote into that computer, or I'll just jump onto that computer. All right, Dean, you got a response for me. Yeah, those are some good points. I never thought of it that way before. I think it's an interesting way to use Photoshop, but yeah, not as great as I thought it was. Oh, it's still good. It still shows. How did I word this before? It's a big step in showing what Chrome OS and cloud services in general can do. It's pushing web technology farther and into a much better space. It's showing people, hey, you don't need to use a physical version. You don't need whatnot. But like I said, if you already own the physical version, why pay a subscription fee? That's just my personal take on it. And granted, the subscription fee might be tiered. You might be like, okay, you already own it, maybe $5 a month or whatever, or $20 a year to use the cloud service instead, or I don't know, just throwing numbers out there because I don't know how they're going to do that. That's the main concern is how are they going to price it, and what's the price range for that tier, because people could just go buy the actual version. So I can actually see that subscription thing kind of going wrong. Right. Well, I kind of blazed through these. This question from Dean also. It seems that HP is battling their own Chromebook line with the Windows Stream notebooks. It sounds kind of stupid to me. It's still interesting. I wonder if more companies will follow HP in making low-end Windows laptops. What are your thoughts on this? To be honest, well, I only use Windows when I have to. When I have to go to my Windows PC and boot up Photoshop. That's really the only time I use. Excuse me. That's literally the only time I use Windows. The Stream notebooks, I haven't heard of them. That link this morning that you sent was the first time I did it. So before this hangout, I went and read up about some of it. Not too impressed. Now, they don't really seem like they'd appeal to me. But on the other hand, I can't really blame laptop manufacturers for double dipping. It's kind of like the Android market where they don't just make Android phones or just make Windows phones or whatever. They make devices for all platforms or a lot of platforms. I don't really think it's stupid. It's appealing to your consumer base. Some people want cheap Windows. A lot of people, I hope, would rather Chromebooks. I know personally, I prefer Chromebooks. So, I don't think it's an issue really that that HP is doing the Windows Stream notebooks and Chromebooks. I don't think they'll be that detrimental to the Chromebook market. It might take a small hit out of it, but I think Chromebooks. I think Windows is just trying to play catch up with Chromebooks in that little cloud-based market. Look at all the free stuff they're giving with it. Also, so the terabyte storage space, which isn't that bad of a deal, and some other stuff. I don't remember now exactly, but I just kind of looked over it and whatnot. And that was actually the last question that I had from the forum. I believe Dean's the only one watching right now. I'm not. I think I've been going for just under an hour. I blazed through those questions and took 2 from Dean, 2 or 3 comments and questions from Dean live also. I don't. Let me. Let's see how long I've been going. Excuse me. So I'm actually just under an hour long, and thanks for your questions. Any other questions? Feel free to go ahead and use that forum. You can catch me over on Chromebook Central. I do try to pop my head in there more often. There are some more knowledgeable people over there also. But yeah, first off, I will try to get more information on verified boot and how that works. I will likely try. I have this weekend off from work, so I will see if I can gather information this weekend, or sometime this week, and see if I can get that information and get a video set up for either Monday or Tuesday. I'll still be doing the Hangout Tuesday, so go ahead and hit me up with questions and whatnot. Let's see. All right. This will be the last thing, Dean. What are my thoughts on the Nexus 6? I haven't read much into it. I don't read into rumors. Once it's announced, that's when I'll look into it. As far as I know, it has not been announced yet. Just rumors and leaks and whatnot. And as a wrestling fan, I'll relate it to a wrestling fan thing. In the internet professional wrestling community, the rumor sites and all that, they call them dirt sheets. I do not pay attention to those because some of them are way off base and way just wrong. Same thing with tech rumors. They're tech dirt sheets. They don't. They get some stuff wrong. They might get a few things right, but I'd rather not have to sift through all the wrong stuff to get to the right stuff and the accurate stuff. I'll just wait until it's actually announced, if it's actually announced, and go from there. It's not like I'd be able to buy it. I don't have the money right now. If I had the money, I'd buy another Pixel. Right now, my Nexus 5 works just fine for me. But yeah. No comment, I guess. I have no thoughts because I haven't looked into the rumors, so sorry. All right, so questions can go either to the, you can ask questions on Chromebook Central, and we have about 30 rising stars and top contributors there. And there's quite a few Googlers that pop their heads in there too, so you can get questions answered fairly quickly there. If you do go to Chromebook Central, please be as detailed as possible in your problem. That way we can help you. Now, we're not asking for like your social security number or anything. We just want to know what Chromebook you have, like the Acer C720 or the HP14, HP11, Samsung Chromebook 2, Chromebook Pixel, and that, what channel you're running. Are you running stable, beta, or dev? Did you switch to dev mode? And if you don't know, you can go to, if you don't know what what version or Chromebook you're using, you could always go into the address bar up on the top and type Chrome://help, and it'll say about, and you'll have the Chrome logo, Google Chrome OS, the faster, simpler, and more secure computer. Get help using Chrome OS button, report an issue button, and then under those two buttons, you'll have the version number, the platform, and the firmware. With those 3 lines of information right there, that will greatly help us help you. But then also be detailed about what issue you're having with your Chromebook. A lot of people post just one, like, Chromebook keeps freezing as the title, and there's nothing in the subject. We can't help that person. We have to respond, please provide a little bit more information. And that takes longer for you to get your Chromebook up and running for you. We're here to help you guys to do this. This is my way of helping people, is do these videos and answer these questions, and you get to see someone's face talking to you, helping you. And I'm more than happy to do a one-on-one hangout. If someone has a lot of questions, hit me up on Facebook, or not on Facebook. I'm deleting my Facebook. Hit me up on Google Plus. I'll do a hangout with you. I'll walk you through any question you got. But yeah, that's Chromebook Central. I have my Google form set up for questions also. Link should be down in the description or over in the description. It depends if you're watching this on Google Plus or on YouTube. YouTube, I believe it's down. Google Plus, I think it's like over and down. I don't remember. It might even be down too now. Go ahead and ask me questions on Google Plus. Just plus mention me. My Google Plus profile is I'll just give you the quick and easy shortened URL, gplus.2to/JL Chapman. Chapman spelled CHAPMAN. That's the direct link. Just add me to your circles and plus mention me, ask your question. I'll get on it. I check Google Plus like 2 or 3 times a day, so if not more. I try to check it at least 2 or 3 times a day. Other ways, that's it really. yeah, that's it. So, like I said, any questions you got for us, hit us on those, up with those, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.